everybody how to use the filter higher order function that you're going to build. And so in a previous video, we showed off how to use predicates. And in that video, we built a higher order function that took a predicate. Filter is also a higher order function that takes a predicate. And so let's show off how to use a more standard, one of the higher order function Hall of Fame members, filter. And so if you recall in the previous video, we showed off that the registrar's office has a list of courses. They have a public website for it. And rather than force me to scrape it to get this information, they sent it along to me, which was very nice. Thank you, Dr. Murphy, for dodging my ridiculous late request on that. And so if I look at this, I can, figure out there's 3,066 courses in this set of files that she sent me, which is very nice. And so first of all, I called this course. This should be courses. And if I print them all out, courses, like this is not the most useful way to deal with it, is to have them all to deal with. Like what I'd like to be able to do is filter them down or select filter and just select the ones that I'm interested in. And so I'm going to do that by passing a predicate to filter, which will test each item in turn. So first of all, when I first looked into this, sort of surprised, like the number of credits that you get for a course is not like always 3 or 4 or 1. It's can be a double. And I was like, so which courses, are there any 0.5 courses out there? Are there other course numbers out there where somebody takes like 1.3 credits for something? So I wanted to look into that. And so I called these the 0.5 courses, and half was expecting that it'd be a 0.3 course. I didn't find any, so that's good. Filter utils, filter, I'll pass some predicate right now for a particular course. Let me return true right away. We'll just pretend they all pass while I'm writing this. And so this is going to be in courses. Let's print out all the 0.5 courses. And so how I'm going to determine this is, the way I chose to do this is like, is the floor of this course's credits not equal to the course's credits? So if I print this out, rather than just getting a count of it, at that floor of this guy, that equal to the number of credits itself. And now you see, like, it's filtered down to just classes that have 0.5 credits. Let's print out the course credits first, just so I can make sure I've built this correctly. You can see there's a bunch of them. The business school is very excited about having 1.5 credit classes. They're not constrained by this is 1 or 2. They're like, well, this thing is exactly 1.5 credits. So congratulations to them. They've got it all figured out over there. All right, so they're not constrained by, oops, this out, I print out. Not constrained by anybody telling them that it has to be an integer. They're like, we're going to make it 0.5. All right, and so that's that one. That was just sort of like something that tweaked my interest. I thought I would look up. And the nice thing about building one of these higher order functions is you can just use it over and over again. You just write these custom predicates that return true or false based on whether or not you want them included in the output. And so you can imagine somebody in the registrar's office or the dean's office or whatever saying, like, how many multi-section courses do we have? And so I'm going to just write another filter utils filter and pass a predicate again that's going to take a course. All courses again. Was all right, so return the course that I was passed. How many, your sections, like, is your size greater than 1? Okay. And now if I sort of print out all of these courses, section course, this information out, right? How many sections do you have? And see, there's a lot of them. There's let me print this out. see how many. Well, there's 718 of the 3,066 are multiple sections. So you might be interested in that and sort of look into like which schools have more of them, which don't. I want you to imagine is that try something a little bit different where let me leave them all in. And I'm going to do one last filter where I'm going to say, okay, so let's find all the single large section courses. And how this is going to work is maybe we should, everything doesn't have to be a single line. So let's say like if course, just like I had before, I was trying to find the multiple ones. Let's say like, all right, let's find the ones where the size is exactly one. If that's the case, then what I want to do is return true if that first section at the 0th one, that first section, because I know there'll be one, I just got that there was a size. Let's say that's current enrollment is greater than 1. That's the case, we're good. Otherwise, return false when we get down here. And so now, if I print out this single large section courses, right? I run it. Oh, hang on. Single large section courses. So, oh, let me see if that's right. Now the stale information. Let me just print this right here with this guy. Enrollment on these guys is 3. So I obviously got this wrong. So if the sections is 1, and oh, I said current enrollment greater than 1, that's going to be a lot of courses. Might be interested in that too. Like how many of these courses have nobody in them, like greater than 0? Okay, so now we're filtering it down to an actual good amount. There's 38 of them apparently. And again, I would take some of this information with a grain of salt. Since I just got this and I'm sort of parsing it and trying to figure this all out. And you're gonna some of these make sense. Like there's 237 and there's a 347 and CSE. There's a bunch of them like intro to AI, intro to machine learning. All these things make sense. And so maybe you're like, all right, so you could imagine somebody saying, all right, so the sections is this. Let me let's imagine that it's in the dean's office at the engineering school. They're like, all right, so like I'm not interested in all the other ones. What I want to do is just get the ones where the school equals McKelvey. I'm further filtering down. I'm like saying only select the ones that have one section, they're McKelvey and they're greater than 100, right? Now we can sort of see we're down to just 12 courses. And now maybe you're, making a decision and you're like, all right, so like maybe we should be looking into like opening extra sections of, some of these 400 level classes, higher level classes that have all these people in it. And so hopefully this has been an example that will help you understand how filter works and how to build both your exercise where you build filter itself and the clients.